I haven't come forth in a great many years because I didn't want to be relegated to another guest on a TV talk show. But I can assure you, Satanism is here to stay.
Ooh, Catholic.
Wow. Now, that was creepy, scary, huh? Wow. Well, thank you for watching my video, for coming to Kat XXX. Now, today, what are we going to talk about? Well, it's not all going to be about Satanism.
And who could it have been? Let's see, I don't know. Let me think. Let me knock on Mr. Noggin. Who could trick us into doing that? Could have been Satan.
It's going to be about the influence of Satanism on today's society. Now, look, children should not be watching this video, so be forewarned. If you have any kids, get them out of the room, because this video is not suitable for children. There will be things in this video that may shock even you, as it's related to this subject matter. Now, before I start, I would like to ask you to please like, subscribe, follow, all of that. And again, as I mentioned before, as conservatives, as Christians, you have, you're obligated to like my video, to help me in my cause. Not asking for any money, just a few likes here and there. Gotta do this algorithm thing. So let's do that. All right, now let's begin. Who was that guy at the beginning?
If I'm going to call up any demons, if I'm going to get any magical power, if I'm going to get anything going my way, I better get on the side of those guys.
Well, that was someone who calls himself Anton Szandor Levey. Who was he really? Well, his real name was Howard. His real name was Howard. Who was Howard? Well, Howard, he was born Howard Stanton Levey. He was born back in April 11th, 1930, to a Jewish family in Chicago. As a young guy, Howard, Anton, had a number of jobs, a number of tasks. He worked for a while in a carnival setting, worked in that culture of people who basically get as much money out of the public as they can as they travel around the country doing their carnival thing. He kind of played the organ a little bit. He was a psychic in the carnival. So you can imagine in that kind of an environment. But things obviously weren't panning out career-wise, life-wise for this guy. So what did he do? Well, he did this. The Satanic Bible. That's what he did. And when did he establish this? Well, he established this he established the Church of Satan back in 1966, and he published this, I believe, in 1969, just a few years later. Now, it's scary. Ooh, the Church of Satan Bible. Oh. No, it's not. It's bullshit, what it is. This is complete utter nonsense. There's nothing scary about it. It's a lot of diatribe, a lot of, what his idea of the Church of Satan is. Now, of course, Satanists would like you to believe that, they don't believe in Satan as a person, as a thing. They don't pray to. Well, if that's the case, then why does it say "Hail Satan" right on the page? If that were true, if they didn't believe in the Satan character, then we could say that, well, the Nazis didn't believe in Adolf Hitler, but yes, that they say "Hail Hitler," Heil Hitler, right? They say the same thing for Satan. Hail Satan, right? But what's in this book? A lot of garbage. It talks about the seven deadly sins being sins that you should actually practice, right? 7 deadly sins: sloth, envy, anger, gluttony, lust. You know the spiel. So you should do all those things. Even the reasoning is in terms of, let's say, for example, gluttony. Even if you were a glutton and you just gained so much weight, you got to become fat and slovenly. The other sin, pride, you would have so much pride that you would reverse that gluttonous activity. Well, we just know that that's just not the way it works. Yet, that's their reason. But what else is in this book? Well, this book contains how to perform rituals, spells it out step by step what you have to do. The 3 types of satanic rituals. A belief in so-called tenets, and it's love and hate, the infernal names. I mean, there's so much garbage in here, and it's almost like he wrote this just to, well, let's look at it really. Now, here's the thing about Anton. Howard.
Oh, Howard, did you go and start the Church of Satan? Yeah, Ma. Yeah, I did. Now, why would a good Jewish boy start the Church of Satan? Because it's fun, Ma. It was fun.
No, sorry. I just had to do that. Look, here's the thing about Anton. All right? He ended up creating a caricature of what people would expect the high priest of the Church of Satan to look like. So he shaved his head, he grew a goatee, not as nice as mine, but he grew a goatee. He even started wearing a black cape, wore dark attire, a dark shirt, black pants, black shoes. On occasion would wear gloves. So he became a caricature. And why would he do that? Well, just like the horror movies that would portray a satanic-looking character, it would follow along those lines. So he became this character, as you see in the photographs here. And for a time it worked, but it ended up looking ridiculous. It ended up looking like a character in a movie where, how could you take it seriously? But So what did this do? Well, young people gravitated towards this because young people were into horror movies, just like Howard was. He was into horror movies and that sort of thing. Coming off the carnival circuit and getting into all this stuff. And so young people gravitated towards this kind of silliness, this kind of absurdity. But it became a dark fancy for them. And without even any knowledge of Satanism or devil worship, young people knew very limited information. They knew about a pentagram. They knew about the Ouija board. They knew about creating a circle of salt that would prevent the evil coming in, blah, 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 blah. All that nonsense, right? They knew about that. And some of them had even heard of, sacrifices. Well, young people started doing that. Now, I have seen enough video and photographs of these events these young people would do, where they would practice these rituals. As rudimentary as they were, some of them would, perform sacrificial animals. They would sacrifice animals during their rituals. I'm not going to show any of that, but I've seen it. I will not put it in the video. It's not something that needs to be viewed. But I just wanted to fill that in here and provide that information regarding Anton's appearance and what these young folks are gravitating towards. And it's unfortunate, but even today, 2025, young people are going out in abandoned buildings, massive abandoned buildings, old hospitals, abandoned offices, abandoned homes, and conducting their little rituals. And some of them are taking it quite seriously, influenced through things like music and Anton and his little Bible, and even the Satanic Temple, an offshoot of this, folks, another satanic church that was born basically out of the idea of this satanic church. So there you have it. Anton's silly appearance with his cape and silliness, but that's it. So let's move on. This was started there in San Francisco, California. Oddly enough, after another guy, and you'll probably recognize his name, after he started his church in 1954. And who is that? It's this guy, L. Ron Hubbard. He started the Church of Scientology. So there you go. Church of Satan, Church of Scientology. Well, that's kind of odd and kind of fortuitous for Anton, right? Well, there you go. Church of Satan, Church of Scientology, starting both where? California. Now we know what happened. This didn't take off so well. Although there are chapters started throughout the country, they're small. You really couldn't even call them congregations. The Church of Scientology, on the other hand, well, they're huge. There's a lot of money. And how did Church of Scientology do that? Well, they tied themselves to celebrities. A lot of celebrities contributing a lot of money. And, of course, we're not going to get into a lot of Scientology here, but they profess to have a means, a method in which you can improve yourself. If you give enough money, okay, they all want money. In Church of Scientology as well, but you know, Church of Scientology happens to have a dark side. Yes, the Church of Scientology has Satan in the name. Satanic Bible has Satan in the name. Scientology is also satanic in my eyes. My opinion only. So don't come back and sue me for what I'm saying. It's my opinion and I'll have a right to it. So fuck you. Church of Scientology is dark and evil. There's so much going on in there. Satanic Bible, obviously dark and evil. Why? Because it has a fallen angel involved. Where'd he go? What are you gonna do, huh? Okay, right. So let's set aside the Church of Satan, and let's go into what the social experiences are, because the Satanic Bible, the Church of Satan, there are some offshoots of the Church of Satan. The Satanic Temple probably being the most notable out of all of them. They're thriving a bit, and you know, for example, they recently posted a statue of Baphomet, the demon Baphomet, in Detroit. Wow, imagine that, doing that in Detroit, in a black community, where the statue incorporates two small children looking up at this demon Baphomet, very lovingly smiling up at this demon Baphomet in Detroit. Odd how they would do that. Very strange, huh? Doing that in a black community. Nice job, Satanic Temple. Great work. I believe the statue may have been damaged, had to be removed. Not going to cry any tears over that, okay? But here's the thing about the Church of Satan, this whole satanic worship shit, is that there's a heavy influence. And it influences politics as well as the social element of our society. What do I mean by that? Well, in the last video regarding Zelensky that I posted, I told you that Volodymyr Zelensky, he appointed this woman named Marina Abramovic as basically the school marm of the country to improve the children's education in Ukraine.
One more. Shall I have one more? Okay, Putin again. I'm ambassador for Zelensky, you know, for the children and the hospital rebuilding. It's really important function.
Yes, now who is Marina Abramovic? She's an avowed Satanist. Oddly, right? And Zelensky knows this because it's well known. It's not something that's under the rug, that's hidden. It's a well-known thing that Marina Abramovic is a Satanist. She admits it. She doesn't have a problem talking about it. But in her art, this is how she became well-known, is the so-called art that she produces is absolutely obscene stuff. And I don't mean just sexually obscene. It's abhorrent in terms of the vile content. And you can see some of this, as I'm speaking here. It's disgusting. Now, who would support this kind of stuff, this kind of art? Well, you'll be surprised that there are a lot of celebrities that do support her, that have spoken with her, that visit with her, and you'll see some of those celebrities here, including people like Lady Gaga.
Kind of artist and make them possible to create these monumental works. Today, we don't have kings, but we have industry, we have the business, we have banks, that kind of people who really have a substantial amount of money who can support culture. I think that today we are so much concerned about art as a commodity, with the art market, with the times we are living in. I think that the conduct of an artist is very important to clarify it. So I had the need to write this manifesto.
An artist's relation to his life.
An artist should avoid falling in love with another artist.
An artist's relation to self-control.
The artist should not have self-control about his life. The artist should have total self-control about his work.
An artist's relation to solitude.
An artist should stay for long periods of time looking at fast-running rivers.
Now, how does the dark one, the master of lies, how does Satan influence social elements of the world? Well, let me ask you this. What is the most powerful medicine in the world? The most powerful? Well, it's music. And you can see how it's influenced in music and how it has become so acceptable. The worship of Satan, the presentation of Satan has become very accessible and acceptable to the populace. And who are the most influenced by music? Young people. They're the ones that are downloading the music. They're the ones who are buying the albums. They're the ones who are purchasing all of this. They're They're watching the videos. These videos are very popular. And a couple of examples. Remember during the Grammys, Sam Smith, what he did. His introduction, opening up the Grammy ceremonies with that satanic song. And look, I'm not a prude. I'm not saying, oh my God, everything is Satan and we have to watch it. No, I don't have a problem with exploring something that's dark, because everybody has some kind of a darkness, and there's not a problem in addressing it and touching on it and singing about it or writing books about it. What I'm talking about is the worship of that kind of activity, and it's a worship, and doing so in repulsive and vile ways. I have a problem with that. With Sam Smith being on stage and basically having anal sex with some guy, some demon, if you want to call him the devil or whatever. It's repulsive, it's disgusting, but it's accepted now, you know? Oh, but look, everybody has a different level of acceptance of what we can do as a baseline. It's just a baseline, what you accept, what you don't. Well, no, there's no baseline. It's either pushing the envelope to the extreme where the envelope burns in flames, or not. There is a limit, and we know internally what that is. You know, we know internally how far we can go for this kind of thing. It's obscene. What Marina Abramovic does is also obscene. And then another example would be Lil Nas X. Why he started the way he did, which was, you know, pretty cool. And had the number one country song forever. Very cool, very successful. And then suddenly he becomes this. He becomes this repulsive character that has anal sex with Satan on stage. And he does this again and again in videos. Why he turned to that, I don't know. But it must be money, because it's accepted, and for a certain element of society, a certain element of young people, they must think it's cool to be so obscene, to be so against the grain, to be so anti-Christian. It must be such a cool thing to do, man. It must be so fucking cool, right? Yeah, whatever. you're just a fucking loser if you're gonna do that shit. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. It's repulsive, it's obscene, and you know, you want to do that shit behind closed doors, or you want to have sex with other guys, whatever. Fine, do whatever you want. That's just not what you do on stage at a concert. That's obscene. Why it's allowed, why it's accepted by such a large portion of society, I don't know. It might take I don't even know if a psychologist can figure that out. I don't think so. It's so beyond the pale. It's disgusting. Fucking disgusting. Anyway, another one. Just one more. Another very popular person, Lady Gaga. Big supporter of Marina Abramovic. She's visited her, has been and schooled by her. Why she has to be on stage. She did this some years ago. Well, she was big into this as well. Allowing another girl to vomit on her during a song. Yes, soliciting this girl to vomit on her. Really? That's art. That's making a statement, you know? And of course, you know, with some of these other folks, you can tell what statement they're making. Sam Smith having anal sex with some dude. We know what the statement is there. Nas X having anal sex with Satan. We know what the statement is, dude. There's nothing opaque about that. We get it. We get the fucking picture. Okay? So, this is pervasive. This darkness, it's pervasive. It's floating through the ether in society. It's in the background because politics are so heavy right now between the parties that, you know, you're not seeing what's happening in the background. But this is what's happening in the background. While we're busy with our politics, your kids, my kids, everybody's kids are exposed to this. Whether you like it or not, they can see it. It's on the internet. Anybody can see it. The videos are there. They're open for anybody to see. There's no, oh, you have to be 18 to see some guy being reamed by Satan. No, there's none of that. No, it's there. Whether you want to see it or not, people, it's there. So that's what I wanted to cover, is what is happening in the background today. Because it's heavy, it's obscene, and it's happening while you go through your day. This is happening. And you need to be aware of it. Okay? And it rises into politics as well. It's in Zelensky's court. It's in the court of the school marm of Marina Abramovic. Yeah, it's there, folks. And I hope you take note of it. Do what you can. I'm not saying that you have to be a damn prude and think, oh no, we can't be addressing anything and dark and mysterious. No, that's fine, because everybody has darkness and everybody has mysteriousness about them. That's just part of who we are, part of our psyche. We know it, and we know how to address it without the nonsense that these so-called celebrities, yeah. Anyway, that is what I wanted to cover with you on this video. Now, as you like and subscribe my videos here, I wanted to address one thing and give you kind of a preview, well, at least tell you about the next video that I'm doing. And that is, I think, a very important one because it addresses what's happening in America and England right now. And it's a follow-up to videos that I've posted before about this issue. But this one is very, very specific. What I want to ask you is, are some things better than others? Right? Are some things better than other things? For example, could a pen be better than a pencil? Right? Could this kind of battery be better than that kind of battery? Could a house made entirely of wood be better than a house made of bricks and a concrete foundation? Are some things better than others? And well, of course the answer is some things are better than others. Now, based on that premise, what I'm saying to you is Christianity is better than Islam. To me, that's just a cold, hard fact. Christianity is better than Islam. That is the next video, and I'm going to articulate why Christianity is better than Islam. All right? So that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please like, share, follow, whatever the case may be. And until next time, this is Kat XXX. See you on the next video. Meow, baby.